Burek pressed his palm against the crystalline wall of his cell, watching the twin moons of Zerthenia rise over the purple horizon. 3 months had passed since the diplomatic mission went sideways, and he'd been a guest of Queen Zixara ever since. "You will remain here," the Queen's voice echoed through the chamber, her form materializing from the shadows. Her chitinous armor gleamed like polished obsidian, and her 4 arms crossed in a gesture that transcended species-pure indignation. "Your Majesty, I have explained this a dozen times." Silence. She moved closer, her bioluminescent markings flaring orange with emotion. "Do you have any comprehension of what you've done, human?" Buruk ran a hand through his disheveled hair. When Earth had sent him as a xenobiologist to establish relations with the Zerthanian hive, nobody mentioned the Queen's peculiar interest in human culture, or that sharing a ceremonial drink at the winter solstice celebration carried ... implications. "I'm pregnant with your child." Human Zixara's voice dropped to something between a hiss and a whisper. Burek's mind reeled. That's biologically impossible. We're different species, different evolutionary trees, different planets." The Queen's mandibles clicked in what might have been amusement. "Your human arrogance is astounding. You know so little of the universe." She gestured, and a holographic display materialized between them. "My species evolved adaptive reproduction. We can incorporate genetic material from any compatible consciousness-bearing organism. It's how we've survived 3 extinction events." Compatible consciousness. Buruk stared at the swirling DNA helixes in the projection, seeing his own human markers intertwined with something decidedly alien. "Your species' stubborn refusal to die fascinates me," Zixara continued, beginning to pace. "Humans are weak, fragile. You have no natural armor, no venom, no enhanced strength. Yet you conquered your world. You reached for the stars with primitive chemical rockets. You've survived wars, plagues, and your own stupidity." She turned to face him fully. "When I encountered you in the ceremonial hall, I sensed it, that inexplicable human resilience coded into your very genes. I wanted to understand it, to possess it for my hive." "So you just decided to have a child?" Buruk felt anger rising despite his precarious situation. "Without asking. I am Queen. I do not ask." But something in her voice wavered, though I admit, I did not anticipate the complications. "What complications?" Zixara's armor plates shifted, revealing vulnerability beneath. "The child carries human traits. Stubbornness, independence, curiosity." She said the words like curses. "It refuses to follow hive protocols while still in gestation. It questions the collective consciousness. Do you understand the chaos this creates?" "Despite everything," Burek laughed, "you're telling me our kid is already causing trouble. This is not amusing." But her bioluminescence flickered between orange and blue confusion. His xenobiology training supplied. "My entire hive feels the disruption. Some drones have begun asking questions, seeking individual purpose. It's unprecedented." Buruk moved closer to the barrier. "Maybe that's not a bad thing." "Not bad. It threatens everything we are." "Does it, or does it make you more?" He thought of Melissa back on Earth, his research partner who'd always argued that humanity's greatest strength was adaptability. "Your Majesty, you said humans refuse to die because we adapt. Maybe your hive needs that same trait." Zixara was silent for a long moment. "The child will be born in 3 cycles. Tradition demands the father be present. I'm not going anywhere, clearly, no." Her tone softened almost imperceptibly. "But perhaps your presence need not be as a prisoner." She waved a hand, and the crystalline barrier dissolved. "The hive mothers demand I consult with you. About the child. About these ... changes." Burek stepped out cautiously. "I'm listening. Human adaptability is chaos. But chaos can be a tool, yes. Your species weaponizes change itself." "We survive because we embrace change," Burek corrected. "There's a difference." Zixara's mandibles clicked thoughtfully. "Then you must teach me, teach us, how to maintain unity while allowing ... individuality." She gestured to the vast chamber beyond. "Or this child will tear my hive apart from within." Over the following weeks, Burek found himself in an impossible role, part father, part diplomat, part evolutionary consultant. He taught the Queen about human child-rearing, about nurturing independence within community bonds. In return, she showed him the beauty of the hive mind, the strength found in connection. Eartha sent communications. Zixara informed him one evening. "Your colleague Melissa demands your return. I told her you were occupied with matters of interspecies significance." The Queen's bioluminescence flickered with something that might have been humor. She was not satisfied. "She's threatening to come here herself." Buruk smiled. "That sounds like Melissa, perhaps." Zixara hesitated. her armor plates shifting. Perhaps when the child is born, you might convince her to visit. Your species' perspective on this hybrid future would be valuable. I thought you refused to let me go. The queen's forearms spread in a gesture of grudging acceptance. I've learned from human stubbornness. Sometimes holding tight means losing everything. Sometimes ... We must adapt. As the first cycle ended and the child within the queen grew stronger, Burak realized he was witnessing something unprecedented, not just a hybrid birth, but the birth of a new way of thinking. The hive was changing, learning to balance collective strengths with individual voice, and perhaps, just perhaps, that was the most human thing of all.